first off, this came across like early in the week. It looked like a real bizarre video, but Dame Dash, he was like sitting down surrounded by
his film crew.
His film crew. And he was apologizing to Jay-Z, Lyor Cohen, Steve Stout, Biggs.
Jim Jones.
I didn't know he had a problem with Jim Jones.
Yeah, I think they had some falling outs or something.
So what you think? First, he said like, this was some stuff he said. He said, I don't have beef with nobody. Pause. That's another thing. He's too old to be pausing after every 33 words, but all right, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And it had nothing, like, that was a reach, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
Right, he said, I'm working past it, so Jay-Z, if I offended you, I apologize. Lyor Cohen, if I offended you, I apologize. This is after he wrote a whole book called Culture Vulture.
Yeah.
Steve Stout, if I offended you, I apologize. Just cause you don't have the same morals and principles as me is cool. Little shot.
Passive aggressive, yeah.
And he said, I'm not angry with you no more. I did what I had to do. I was a little aggravated about Aaliyah. And
excuse.
Yeah, I caught the broad end of it. It was therapy. That's what he said.
Okay. I'm going to let you tap into that because, I'm going to get a little extensive. I started to do a whole piece on this today, but I didn't have time.
Yeah.
So
first like watching the video, he just looked like really defeated, all right? Like, he was trying to shoulder this whole independence, everybody, should work.
I'm my own boss.
I'm my own boss. We don't need these Jews for nothing. We don't, need anybody else. And I guess like over the years, just like wear and tear got to him. He just looks defeated. The apologizing thing is wild because over the past, let's say 15 years, right? He's had a consistent argument, a consistent case against these people. But in the last year or so, I felt like it was way more magnified. He was way more out there with the interviews.
Stepping it up a
little bit with the interviews he was doing, the beefs he was like the new beefs he was having with Flex and things like that. And for you to apologize now, that kind of just takes the wind out of everything you were saying and all the people that kind of supported you.
Yeah, very good points.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say. I don't know why he apologized.
It's a little bizarre.
It's a little bizarre. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna take this from a couple of angles because it's not it's a little bit more complicated than that. I feel. First of all, Dame Dash represents an idea, an independent idea, an idea that you don't need the system, right? Now, I'm always telling young people and old people alike never to live your life vicariously through these individuals, no matter who the individual is, because when they fold, you fold, right? It does not mean you cannot be inspired by the idea. But even in the most independent of independents have to depend on resources, outside sources. You have to sit down at the table with those who are a part of the system to get deals done, right? He has TV shows. Where he gonna put these shows at?
Right.
As I mentioned about a month ago, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? So if you have a dope project of any capacity, but nobody has heard it or viewed it, is it dope? So we have to work within the system, and you can still have an independent, meaning you making the final decisions on the destiny of your goal. But if you are to take what this man is saying literally, right? You are going to run into some real problems in the world.
Yeah.
So a lot of our people sit at these computers and they gas themselves up. Yeah, fuck that shit, Dame. Yeah, do that shit. And meanwhile, they're not the ones participating in the actual events of not dealing with the Jews. And you know what I mean?
What was interesting about Dame and the people who, a lot of people who support his idea, because you said it's an idea, that when they talk about being independent, we don't need these people, they're talking about it on the platforms that we don't own, right?
Absolutely.
He went in on Lyor Cohen crazy, and then the platform that boosted that message, Lyor Cohen is a big major player in YouTube.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Yeah. See, now we're gonna start peeling back some of the actual layers of this shit, right? So, and I want to throw this out there too. What would you do if, because we don't know if they stepped it up on him, threatened his family, had pictures of his kids, his daughter, maybe in an uncompromising position. Maybe they froze his bank accounts for a few days to show him just how much power that they have. See, it's one thing to receive a threat from a troll online that you know is not real. It's another thing to receive death threats or threats of real magnitude that are coming from people that you know have the ability to touch you. And when you speak about independence and you don't have no standing army with you, then that makes you a target, and a target that is easy to get to.
So do you think this was... So that's a good point, right? But what about the Rock Nation brunch that just happened?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
All right. Now you in my head movies. Get the fuck out of my head movies.
My bad.
All right. You all in my head movies.
Okay.
All right. So now, with that being said, you have to take that into consideration. What we're talking about, and it's easy to say, well, this is what I would do when your family is at stake, and now it brings more light to what Malcolm X was going through,
right,
what Dr. King was going through, what the Black Panthers were going through. They were receiving real threats. And when they isolate you, because remember, they isolated Malcolm from the nation. Now, Farrakhan probably could be the only one could step in the club and say, fuck everybody in the club, right? Because he got a standing army with him who's ready to go to war. Not that Farrakhan would say that, because he is a righteous man. I'm trying to make a point. You can't, as Dame Dash, walk into the middle of the club and be like, fuck everybody in the club. And then stand there, wait for it, so you know some shit is going to pop, right? So his book, co-written by Kenyatta Griggs, I believe that's his name, Kenyatta Griggs from Hip Hop Motivation.
Right.
He's the one you see on YouTube with Dane, and he's pulling these stories and this inspirational information out of Dane. He had to come out and make a public statement like, basically, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Now my book has no value because you have recanted your statements. Now it's one thing to apologize to Jay-Z, right? You and Jay-Z been through some wars. And the public apology is another thing, brothers and sisters. To apologize is one thing. A public apology is a statement being made to the world, unless you're apologizing to the public, right? He could have called Jay-Z. Pretty sure he can get his number. He could have called Jim Jones, as he said he did, and he could have just apologized to these dudes on the low and left it at that. When you apologize to Lyor Cohen, who you basically stated your life that this was a culture vulture, that these small hats have affected our culture and infiltrated our culture on a level that we may never get the culture back, right? And he had allies and accessories to those crimes. Jay-Z, Steve Stout, Kevin Liles, Russell Simmons. The list goes on and on and on of these brothers who looked at the cash value that could be made, Steve Harvey, and decided that this would be better for us.
Yeah.
Dame Dash, as we mentioned, decided that that was uncomfortable for him. But when you make those kind of statements and you got these YouTube programs that you're trying to get ready, Dame Dash TV and all this, and Lyor Cohen and them run that shit. Okay? So now it's a problem. And you're not a problem because you're on an island by yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they did to Dame, but it looked weird. He looked defeated. I know he's having some health issues too. And they might have just turned it up on them because they got people who do wet work and they serious about that business. All right? You better, if you're not spiritually protected and understand that it's a war on multiple levels, they could have just turned it up on them and like, yo, drain your resources. All your resources are electronically. Yeah. That ain't nothing for hackers to go in and freeze your accounts. You know what I mean? So all of this independence is an idea, and it is a great idea.
It's just not reality. Not right now.
It's not based in reality if you're talking 100% independence, because I can't do business with black people on a. You just saw Trigger.
Yeah, Trigger Warning. Yeah.
Trigger Warning by Killer Mike, who was illustrating this. So Dame represents an idea, and that idea is a great idea, You know what I mean? In its principles.
Right.
But you cannot isolate yourself because no man is an island. And they will wait you out until your weakest point.
Which looks like right now.
Right now is his weakest point.
Yeah.
And them motherfuckers will make you apologize. Now, I, Black Dot, have to apologize. Lyor, whatever the fuck. I'm sorry for that shit, man. Dame, Jay-Z, I don't even know you, but I'm sorry for all the shit I said. And because look, you done fucked the game up.
Yeah.
You had an army of us rolling with you, not vicariously, because I don't live through no man. I know these niggas tell you one thing and behind the curtain they have a whole nother agenda. But the concept and principle, it's sort of like if you believe in Colin Kaepernick and next year you see him on the sideline warming up. He got a job now, but he ain't kneeling no more. Or he stay in the locker room when the national anthem play and defeat the whole purpose. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What you going to do? What you going to do? You know what I mean? So it's important you understand what's going on. Now, to the brunch.
Yeah.
With the happy niggas.
Yeah.
The happy niggas at the brunch. We the greatest.
It looked fun. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yo, black power, black excellence. All that shit look great. And it's good to see upwardly mobile Negroes, because that's who they are now. These are uppity hip-hop niggas now.
Yeah.
Don't get it fucked up, right? Celebrating success. Maybe he saw that and was like, God damn, all the people I used to fuck with.
All in one spot.
Who all played their position,
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, played their positions properly, not to piss nobody off. And now we are in a situation of black excellence. You asked the question earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Does black excellence only mean entertainment?
That's what it seems like.
Great question.
Because every time Diddy, he's one of those people, and shout out, we went to the same high school. We attended the same high school. Not together, obviously. But every time he talks about black excellence, it's always one of these parties with entertainers, like rappers, ball players, never doctors, never...
I want to go to the black excellence banquet with engineers,
Never that.
app makers, coders, investors, traders, what level is that also black excellence? Or are we always stressing fucking entertainment?
Because at the end of the day, it's literally like you're just doing something for the entertainment of other people. You're rapping.
At the end of the day, I don't care.
Your ball play, even though like I get those jobs take a lot of skill, take a lot of determination, take a lot of practice and a lot of sacrifice to attain to those levels. But at the end of the day,
when all the smoke clear, what is it? It's entertainment.
It's entertainment, yeah.
And when I look on Forbes' list, entertainment is always at the bottom, right? Telecommunications, trading, investments, always at the top. And here we are, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm simply saying we cannot begin to think that our a ticket out of the ghetto is to fucking entertain people. Something else has to give, because we're gonna always find ourselves in this position. This week is the All-Star game. Niggas gonna be dribbling and jumping. It's entertainment, right? So we gotta be clear. These niggas are saying black excellence is entertainment. And not all of them is making a lot of money. Don't get it twisted. You saw Jay, Diddy, a few other dudes making that real money.
But Jay, was it Diddy? Yeah, Diddy had a tweet talking about like, it's not all about billionaires. We need for revolution. Like we are the cause of a revolution. Something to that effect.
So
And
he be talking cryptic drunk shit to
nothing.
me.
It just be mad nothing.
It be mad nothing.
In the tweet, like he don't be
The
talking
most,
about anything.
the most revolutionary he said was the black man is God. He did say that shit.
Yeah.
Whatever he said, and he was like, "Fuck that, the black man is God." I gotta clap that. Like, black man is God. I'm not gonna say everything the nigga say is out of pocket. But brothers and sisters, if entertainment is all that we can do, and we are the greatest entertainers to the world, we're gonna stay behind.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms.
Not saying Jay-Z and Nas and Diddy and Dre, these guys are not using their money to filter into other avenues, because they are. I have to give them credit. I have to give them that credit. But we have to remove the aspect of just entertainment. That all we are good for is to entertain people. We are much more than that as a people. And I think Dame Dash had a reflection. He might have been smoking some really good fucking weed and had an emotional moment. But the public apology to Lyor Cohen is unacceptable at all costs. Because now Kenyatta Griggs' entire body of work, and I heard he had 6 chapters into book number 2 to continue this journey of informing our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you're supposed to die on that sword.
You're supposed to die on that sword. I'm sorry. You have to die on that sword at all, especially after you've been the one telling us what's a boss move and what's not a boss move. That was not a boss move under any circumstances, with the exception of they scared the shit out of him and shit just got real. And don't tell me, yo, I'm a revolutionary. I'm gonna fuck my family. I'll die for the cause. And niggas will pull out a little champagne for you. You remember that nigga Black Dot? Yeah, man. Yeah, I share that nigga. And his whole family's no. So you have real decisions to make, and they should be based on your integrity, not money, Steve Harvey. You understand what I'm saying? So this is a very interesting topic and time for us to pay attention to. Dame Dash, I hope he's okay, but Dame Dash should represent ideas. Don't follow men anywhere.
Yeah. I
don't care if it's Noble, whoever. You stop following men anywhere, and I told y'all that. I had to get on some dudes in the chat about Tupac this week. His nigga been dead 23 years. I make a joke about him, and niggas got offended, right? Because we can, the Christ conscience, that we on that. You can't talk about Jesus and Tupac. Anybody else? I done talked about Dr. King, Malcolm X. I done talked about my mama, my kids. All that shit is funny. The minute I mentioned Tupac, niggas was like, I'm unsubscribing. I was like, well, nigga, bye. You know what I mean? So we have to be clear. This Dame Dash shit is serious. And, we have to see where it goes.
It also leads into a few more conversations we're going to have tonight.
Okay. I like that. Yeah.